Hey everybody, so it's been a while since I talked to you guys. I'm going to go over a few things and there's going to be actually a lot of videos today. So sorry, I'm going to overload you. This first video is actually going to be about the job market and the job situation here in Korea. I really wanted to explain this because some people will have the operative idea of coming here a lot, but at the same time the market here has changed. Um, One thing for sure is that the market is now a buyer's market. What that means in terms of jobs is about 3 to 4 years ago, and even actually earlier than that, some people from different English-speaking countries, so places like South Africa, Canada, Australia, North America, as well as European countries like the United Kingdom, as well as Ireland and Scotland, had come here to Korea, and they started teaching English. The English boom happened in Japan, but then it fizzled out. After that fizzled out, it started drifting here to South Korea. But people were not sure about how to work with foreigners and the law, and a lot of things have changed over time. At the start, it was a seller's market. A lot of people wanted native English speakers, so English first country citizens like myself from North America. Um, but the thing was is that there weren't that many around. So whenever there was a free person in the market saying, I want to teach English or I am a native English speaker, schools were very adamant about, oh, we got to get that guy, oh, we got to get that girl. And they would really work really hard to pay them quite actually a lot of money, considering what the market and life was like at that point. So I'd say probably around 2009, 2010 was probably one of the better years. Um, Fast forward to now, and what we have is there is a ton of foreigners from different countries that are located here in South Korea. A lot of them are working at hagwons or private academies, and some are working in the public school system. The public school system was started under the last president and has been here for quite a while. So there are native English speakers who work in the public schools. They don't teach as many hours. They have a lot more vacation, a lot more desk warming hours, and the first 2 years of any contract they have here are tax-free both by South Korea as well as their home country. This is very attractive to a lot of people because that means less money taken out of your paycheck, less debt, as well as the ability to pay back loans and other things that you may have accrued over time through university or through other degrees. A lot of people are coming here because of that reason and because of the job market crash and the stock market crash in 2009. That's actually the reason I came here in 2012. I was in America. I graduated in 2009, but didn't find a full-time job because a lot of places were closing down or losing business. There was not enough money going around to be able to pay for someone who was just newly recruited to not only train them, but also to help them be stable. I came here because I could make $1,900 every month and have my housing paid for, have national health insurance for free, and have people putting money into a pension for me. A lot of people seeing this and seeing the experiences of their friends decided that they want to participate in this too. That's raised the amount of foreigners here to quite an excessive amount. Now things have started to shift and change. A lot of the job market here has started to drift down south. A lot of people like coming to Seoul because it's next to the major international airport, as well as it's close to a lot of the attractions and other things that people are used to. This is pretty much LA, if you want to tackle, or New York City if you want to tackle it that way. The job market has changed and is moving down south. It's moving toward the cities of Daegu as well as Busan. Busan is close to the beach, and it already has a very good population of foreigners already there, located in a neighborhood called Haeundae. Daegu is a new place for foreigners, but it actually is a great place to be. It's a relatively smaller city. It's probably the third most popular city. The number 4 is Daejeon, which is actually starting to open up more to the English market as well. Also, guys coming here, this is a caveat. Any guys that want to come here, I'm going to explain one thing. You'll notice if you're looking for a position in Seoul, a lot of places are putting up ads asking for female teachers. That's because the population here is a little bit different from Busan. Busan is a middle-class city with not that many high-end people or old money people or new money people, and it's a little more middle class. It's a little tougher. A lot of it is a port town. It's a fishing town. So the people in Busan actually request more male teachers to accommodate the fact that the kids are maybe a little bit rough, maybe a little rowdy. The individuals in Seoul that I noticed, they want more female teachers. It's not really sure why. The original opinion was that, because of the fact that the kids might be more high class or high middle class and they want to be spoiled, or they want to kind of be babysat. I guess people tend to feel that women or female teachers would probably be better at this and maybe more comforting, whereas male teachers would be more stern and more forceful. That's obviously not the case, especially with me. So that's kind of the job market situation in the country. In the world overall, the South Korean situation is kind of also changing law-wise. The government is actually having problems maintaining and sustaining the GEPIK and EPIK programs, which are the programs for the public schools in and around Seoul and nearby cities. The budget seems to keep decreasing, and actually apparently by 2016 there will be no more native English teachers located in the public schools. It will only be in privates. And now the current government has said that they would like to place a ban on foreigners being hired to teach in public and private kindergartens, or all English or immersion kindergartens as well. This limits the amount of work and the ways that foreigners can find work here. A lot of our work is based on teaching or some form of teaching or doing something with teaching. If they limit us from actual facilities that we can actually work at, then we won't have as many foreigners here. And I don't know if that's the hope, I don't know if that's the desire, but that's the situation law-wise that's going on. Other changes may come down the gate, but so far those are the only two changes that have come up. In regards to the way the world works, the English boom really started in Japan, but over the course of about 5 or 6 good years, it went up and then kind of ebbed out. People there can have careers working in English, but you're pretty much a part of the JEP program, which is their public school program. You're an assistant language teacher. It's not heavy on the hours, but you do have to be well notified of how you're supposed to teach. A lot of it is making things fun. A lot of things is kind of games and planning, but it's relatively lax. But the positions you're going to find there are in the provinces. It's not in Tokyo. It's not really around Tokyo. You might find more in Osaka, Kyoto, and kind of the outlying regions. If you like being around Tokyo, you might have to find a place nearby and then kind of shuffle yourself in over the course of the weekend if you really want to hang out with your friends inside. You can work at kind of big chains. There's a place called Paeda. There's Pagoda as well. Those are chains that are also here in Korea as well, but they're part-time jobs over there. It's not meant to be a full-time situation. It's not a full-time career. It's not something that you can really do and last. If you're doing it because your spouse either works a really great job, or if you are the person and you just manage to make a few part-time jobs work, you can also do that. That was actually something I was looking into for a moment here. I have a marriage visa. I'll explain the whole visa situation in a different video, but I have a marriage visa, and that allows me to work part-time and not need support from the government in order to do that. In general, though, it's actually starting to leave South Korea. A lot of language academies are popping up on Jeju Island, which is south. It's still a part of Korea, but it's south. But that's kind of the last bastion of South Korea to really have schools in. This country is relatively small. We have a lot of people, but it's relatively small. So a lot of the jobs are actually shifting into China. Now, that's causing some problems because the Chinese government is still not sure of how to react towards so many foreigners, getting options and getting jobs in their country. There's a certain kind of work permit that you need to have, and some people have run into issues where schools will want them on a tourist visa to teach for part-time or full-time, and then these people have to kind of run away and then come back or go and trade to a different school, which is a really illegal and harsh situation. The other places that it's starting to spread to is Southeast Asia. Places like Vietnam, places like Taiwan, as well as places like Thailand are opening their borders, and now English camps, English teachers, and a lot of different people that are foreign but are native English speakers are able to work in these countries now. Where the future goes, it's not clear. English may spread to places like Indonesia as well as Malaysia. There are some people that work limited-wise in Singapore as well as Hong Kong. These are highly populated areas with a lot of English speakers already there, so it may not necessarily be a big pull for that. It may cross over into India, places like Nepal, Mongolia, smaller countries. It's unsure if it's going to reach over into Russia. The Russian education system is actually pretty well off as far as statistics goes. It may start spreading towards the Eastern Bloc countries, places like Estonia and some of the other countries that are bordering between Europe and Russia, as well as start to head. There are people that are working in the Middle East, and they are getting paid quite well. You really have to follow the customs in those countries, and you are protected, but it is still a little bit dangerous, and you have to watch your step. But it is possible to work in places like Dubai, as well as Oman and the UAE. Maybe the next and last bastion really is going to be Africa, but it's not clear or not sure how this will work, considering that a large majority of the population in some countries doesn't really have enough money to pay English teachers or private instructors. So it may be a situation where people will have to work for the government, and that may mean a small stipend and certain lack of rights, or it may mean that finally certain things really build up. There's also actually a lot of teaching jobs that are being located in Latin countries, so places outside of Mexico, so places like Belize and other countries, Honduras, Guatemala, and also into South America. Sorry, not South Africa. South America. As far as I know, Peru and Chile are two of the biggest countries that are really requesting and pulling for native English speakers to come down and teach. So you can find English positions not just in South Korea. Yes, this is a place that pays you a lot per hour for the jobs that you're doing, but at the same time there are other places. If you speak a different language and are from a different country and you want to participate, there are other places that are looking for people. This is the job market right now, but as always, things are up to change. If you have any questions or any more questions about the English language kind of job market and the job situation, feel free to add a comment down below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Bye.